Before it even starts again, this one person might ruin it. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, there may be a significant twist in the plot of Sharon and Nick Newman's reunion. Nick was instructed by Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, to approach Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, in order to learn more about Kane Ashby's intentions. The one person who can irritate Sharon is Phyllis, who is also a wild card. That's because Nick turned to Phyllis following the death of their daughter, Cassie Newman, almost 2 decades ago. As his wife at the time, Nick relied on Phyllis rather than Sharon. Her marriage to Nick was ruined. Nick was forced to decide between the two women because Sharon could not tolerate his relationship with Phyllis. Nick's difficult divorce from Sharon resulted from his choice of Phyllis. Victor's directives are under attack. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Victor tells Nick to approach the redhead in order to monitor Kane. Kane keeps his ideas under wraps, so nobody truly knows what they are. He says he is currently putting a halt to his plans to acquire Winters, Jabot, Newman, and Chancellor Industries. Victor doesn't believe him, of course. In order to learn more about Kane's actual business plan, he enlists Nick. Nick becomes anxious when he finds out that Victor wants him to get close to Phyllis. He can certainly do it, but is it worth jeopardizing the relationship he has built with Sharon? He is aware that Sharon would not be pleased if she found out. The last thing he wants is for her to turn away from him. Nick is in the center of Victor's scheme. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Nick follows his father's instructions and monitors Phyllis. He begins to spend time with the redhead bombshell and inquires about her workplace. She eventually starts providing him with intelligence, which Victor may utilize against Kane. But as he starts to feel something for both Phyllis and Sharon, the relationship he forms with Phyllis puts him in a difficult situation. Nick will quickly realize that he is in a difficult situation, one that he has encountered on multiple occasions. He is aware that he cannot have both of them, so he must choose a partner. It won't be simple for him to choose the woman he desires this time. He adores both of them, despite their differences and virtues. Which would you rather see Nick with, Phyllis or Sharon? YNR fans? Please use the comments box below to let us know what you think. Do not forget to view the CBS broadcasts Young and the Restless during the week, and Paramount Plus streams it. Overwhelming obsessions, a twisted family vacation, and marital disruption. Spoilers for The Young and the Restless hint that a family vacation goes awry as cunning obsessions and marital sabotage are poised to take over GC. This is what to anticipate. 1. An awkward family getaway. To see their son Noah Newman, Sharon and Nick Newman arrange a trip to Los Angeles. Everything appears to be going well when he meets with a backer to talk about starting a second nightclub. Aside from the possibility that Noah is interacting with the wrong individuals. Given that Noah's life may be in jeopardy, it's fortunate that Nick and Sharon are present. After seeing that Noah is interacting with dubious individuals, his parents eventually ask Detective Burrow to look into the matter. Nick and Sharon spy on each other at that time, and we think that they become closer. This intriguing plot involves Sienna Bacall and Roger Howarth's enigmatic character, and spoilers suggest that Schick isn't ready for what comes next. 2. The obsession of Kane. Kane Ashby then begins to resemble a vicious Aristotle Dumas once more after Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, feeds into his desire for dominance. His agenda for dominance also includes Lily Winters. Will she be the only person who can keep him from going insane like Dumas? Given how quickly Kane is losing his mind, see what we did, she had better get to work. 3. On the edge of silliness. In the meantime, the focus is on Jason Thompson's character Billy Abbott's obsession with destroying Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. Kane's world dominance AI software entices Billy Boy, endangering his romance with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. Will he succumb to compulsive thinking or remain logical? 4. Phyllis is never happy. Phyllis has time to bother Danny and Christine Blair despite her hectic schedule with Kane. Their marriage day is shown in a 2-episode narrative in November, and Phyllis is up to no good. Will Phyllis ruin Danny and Cricket forever? Watch to see what happens as Christine and Danny are ready to say, I do. Stay tuned for more on all the surprises as The Young and the Restless teasers indicate that some major narrative twists are in the works. Make sure to keep up with all of the current events on The Young and the Restless. For the most recent YNR news, spoilers, and updates, return frequently. Sit back and enjoy the greatest soap opera information available online. Kane entices Billy with promises, and Sally gives Diane a hard time. According to Monday, September 15 spoilers on The Young and the Restless, YNR, Diane Jenkins Abbott has an unexpected visitor. Kane Ashby tempts Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Sally Spectra believes that Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, can save Billy. Let's see how Genoa City, Wisconsin, is starting the week. Sally becomes anxious. Sally visits Diane at the Abbott home because she is determined to save Billy from himself. Despite her conflict, Sally finally admits that Billy is teetering on the verge of catastrophe. She reveals everything, including the fact that Kane was responsible for the postponed launch party. The AI software bomb that Kane had dangled in Billy's direction is then dropped by her. Sally opposes the scheme, but Billy was seduced. Billy maintains that he will only use the program to intimidate and manipulate Victor in order to please Sally. Billy placates Sally. Sally has a nasty feeling about this and knows better. She is aware that Victor will not readily give in to Billy Boy for starters. Sally is also concerned that Billy would become a target if he rejects Kane. In addition, Billy's lack of self-control is a fact. Although he claims that he will just threaten Victor, is he really capable of preventing his opponent from being crushed? Third, Sally worries that Billy might be imprisoned for his illegal actions. Sally asks Diane, who is appalled, to beg Jack to step in. Diane might remind her of reality and point out that Billy is an adult who ought to be able to control his life by now. She doesn't want Jack involved in this mess either. The pointless Kane train. Kane waits for Billy's response down by the railroad tracks. Kane strokes his enormous ego and taunts him about destroying Victor's empire. Billy is played like a Stradivarius by Kane, who is an expert manipulator. Billy and Kane may ultimately reach a consensus, but are they merely playing each other? Neither of them is reliable. Explosive according to previews on The Young and the Restless, Billy might take on more than he can handle. Kane and Billy could be caught off guard by their desire for vengeance and greed, but Victor is a powerful foe and has access to greater resources. Not that Victor has ever done the same. Make sure to keep up with all of the current events on The Young and the Restless. For the most recent YNR news, spoilers, and updates, return frequently. Sit back and enjoy the greatest soap opera information available online. Kane offers Michael a job, Kyle pops the question to Claire, and Nate dumps Audra. This is your weekly summary for the September 1st to 5th, 2025 episodes of The Young and the Restless. The Young and the Restless events. On The Young and the Restless image, JPI, Kyle asked Claire to marry him. Audra eventually told Nate on The Young and the Restless this week that she had accepted Victor's demands that she try to woo Kyle in return for money. After walking out on Audra in horror, Nate shared his problems to Victoria. Claire wanted to take things gently, so Kyle planned a romantic evening for her. When Kyle proposed, Claire was taken aback and thought it was his way of making up for his deceit concerning Audra. Claire ran into Holden and asked him to join her for a drink after telling Kyle she wanted some time to reflect. Holden avoided answering Claire's inquiries concerning his past relationship with Audra in Los Angeles. Holden prevented a physical conflict between Audra and a drunken Claire. Kyle wondered how he was going to get Audra to leave town. Victor tried to blackmail Kane, but he refused to give in. With plans to deploy the software against Jabo, Victor challenged Kane about creating an AI program that might penetrate and disrupt businesses. Victor called Victoria, Nick, and Adam to discuss how to get the AI software for their personal benefit, while Kane denied that such technology was feasible. Nick was pressured by Victoria and Adam to confide in Phyllis in order to learn more about Kane. Michael received a generous offer from Kane to become a fixer on his squad. Michael recommended that he take Kane's offer while actually working for Victor in order to save their friendship. Michael was annoyed that she would compromise their friendship, but Phyllis promised to start over if he revealed who he was working for. If Kane wanted to regain Lily's trust, she insisted that he be truthful with her. When Kane attempted to persuade Lily that he had given up on his plans for Genoa City, she abruptly left when Phyllis insisted that they speak about business. Kane yelled at Phyllis to keep out of his personal affairs. Since Nikki would also be impacted, Diane reasoned that Jack would never exact revenge on Victor. Nikki treated Victor to a romantic supper as a surprise. Billy invited Sally to live with him, and she accepted. Watch The Young and the Restless in its entirety on CBS or stream it on Paramount+. The precarious path back to Sharon Newman and Nick Newman generate a level of loyalty that few partnerships in the history of The Young and the Restless can match. Collectively, they stand for redemption, resiliency, tragic loss, and first love. Those who have been watching since the late 1990s are aware of the strength of Genoa City's star-crossed couple who are destined to be together despite all the challenges they face. Sharon and Nick now seem ready for a new chapter after years of pain, betrayals, new marriages, and separations. Their combined parenting of Faith and Noah, as well as their more recent efforts to support Mariah and manage Aria's difficulties, have deepened their relationship. It appears for a minute that peace is achievable. Happiness in soap operas, however, is rarely sustained. Phyllis Summers, the fiery redhead who has long been Nick's obsession and Sharon's adversary, is the darkness looming over their reunion. Never one to pass up a chance to control his kids, Victor Newman threatens to sabotage it before it ever has a chance to completely develop once more. Victor starts a series of events that could destroy Sharon and Nick once more by telling Nick to get close to Phyllis in order to monitor Kane Ashby's risky schemes. Nick's predicament and Victor's directives. Because of Kane Ashby's purported AI project that has the potential to destabilize corporations, Victor has never trusted him. Victor disagrees with Kane's assertions that he has given up on his plans to harm Chancellor Jabot and Newman. Victor uses one of his favorite tactics, using family members as puppets in his power game, instead of going straight after Kane. Under the pretense of devotion to Newman Enterprises, he pressures Nick to get back in touch with Phyllis. This assignment is a nightmare for Nick. He is aware of Sharon's dark and troubled past with Phyllis. Nick turned to Phyllis for comfort after his daughter Cassie passed away tragically 20 years ago, rather than turning to Sharon. That choice permanently changed the course, resulting in a divorce and years of hostility. Sharon becomes cautious about the thought of Phyllis being in Nick's sphere of influence once more. Nick, who is still caught between wanting independence and obeying his father, grudgingly complies to Victor's demands. Nick is in danger because of this. He wants to preserve his renewed bond with Sharon on the one hand. However, he worries that if Newman disobeys Victor, he would be open to Kane's next blow. Will history repeat again, or can Nick play Phyllis without rekindling old emotions? Phyllis, the unexpected factor. Chaos is what Phyllis Summers feeds on. She is simultaneously intelligent, cunning, endearing, and destructive. Victor wants to target her, since she can entice information just as easily as she can hearts. Phyllis, however, is not a fool. She can spot when someone is fooling her, and she could like to manipulate Nick, making it difficult to distinguish between friendship, flirtation, and conspiracy. According to Sharon, the one individual she will never be able to forgive completely is Phyllis. Even though Nick's transgressions had been forgiven by Sharon innumerable times, his betrayal of Phyllis was too painful. Even now, whenever Phyllis comes close to Nick, Sharon's fears come to the surface. It's easy to understand why Phyllis is on rocky ground before their reunion ever becomes official, especially when you consider that she may still have unresolved feelings for Nick. An issue that goes beyond romance. As if this triangle wasn't enough, Nick and Sharon are also entangled in Noah Newman's drama. Despite its apparent promise, their son's Los Angeles business involves risky investors. In addition to being a romantic retreat, Sharon and Nick's visit to see how he's doing also serves as a possible crime thriller subplot. As Sharon and Nick pretend to be amateur detectives, Detective Burrow joins the plot and looks into Noah's dubious contacts. Paradoxically, this threat brings them closer together and serves as a reminder of why they have always performed best as a team. However, Phyllis's ghost remains there throughout this journey. Sharon might question if Nick's habitual phone calls to Genoa City are actually related to Victor's company or to his developing relationship with Phyllis. Mistrust spreads and has the potential to destroy all that is being rebuilt.